All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And today is the day. Netflix announced just yesterday that the DCEU is headed to Netflix. And so we're going to take a look at that. And we're also going to look at how the DCU is being delayed. And by my estimation, this could spell the demise of the DCU. And could also mean that the sale is going to be happening a lot sooner than what we may have expected going into next year. But let's take a look at some of the photos that I have grabbed. All right, so the first post I have for you, I almost did a video on just this topic alone, but Nicolas Cage does criticize the Superman cameo in The Flash. He said, I did not do that. That was not what I did. And he doesn't want to have anything to do with this movie. And you could tell it was kind of funky when you saw the film. And what's crazy about this is they gave more screen time to this Superman in this movie than they did the actual, Henry Cavill Superman. He just had a very short, quick scene in the film, whereas they kind of focused on this one scene that was going to originally be in the Superman Lives movie that was going to be done in the early 90s. That never got made. So he was not part of this. They used CGI to recreate him, but I'm sure he got paid for it. He probably leaves that part out of it. But he did not actually come in and do this. This was something the studio did on their own, and he was criticizing it. All right, so this came from the Hollywood Handle, and I think they have the date wrong based on some information I'm going to give you here in a few minutes, but it says DCU's Creature Commandos will reportedly have 7 episodes of around 22 minutes each, and the series is slated to premiere on Max in 2024. I hear that this has been moved to 2025. We're still waiting to hear confirmation, but we're going to look at a few things. Now, if it's 22 minutes, that would mean that they're putting in 4 commercials, which means this could be on a regular network that would have commercials. Otherwise, I would envision that the episode should be longer than that. But who knows? We were told that this project was pretty much completed and done, but it looks like it may not be done after all. So it is now being confirmed that Superman and Lois will end with Season 4 on the CW. To be honest with you, I haven't even finished Season 2 yet. I do like the production value on this show, but I haven't even finished Season 2 yet, let alone 3, and 4 should be starting shortly. Now, this is not really a big surprise because the CW has changed, ownership, and the demographics now of the show are people above 50 years of age. And so a show like this does not jive with that age group, and it's not surprising that this is being canceled. It's the only show left over from the whole Arrowverse that was started, almost 10 years ago. So it's sad to see this come to an end, but it's not unexpected. All right, so here's the information that is coming out that the possible DCU slate for 2025 is going to be Creature Commandos, Superman Legacy, Waller, and Peacemaker Season 2. Now, James Gunn has his hands all over 3 of these projects entirely. The only one he's not really, who knows if he's going to be a part of it or not, is Waller. And I'm sure Waller will be tied in with Peacemaker Season 2. So they're going to definitely tie all that stuff together, but it's looking that like these things are going to be held back until 2025, meaning the only thing coming out next year from Warner Brothers and DC is going to be the Joker 2. That's it. That's all we're going to get. Nothing else. So it's going to be interesting. It would be a great time for them to release some other stuff and get people excited about this again because this is doomed to fail at this stage. So here's the big news of the day. Now I'm hearing that they're actually going to have Zack Snyder's Justice League on there as well, but I haven't been able to confirm it. But they are going to be picking up, or if they haven't already, I didn't click the link. I should have done that before I looked at this. But I did see this earlier, but I didn't know there was more. I just thought that they were saying these things were coming. But we've got Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 1984, and the Suicide Squad are all hitting Netflix. So the entire DC Extended Universe is hitting Netflix. Now, it's funny that Shazam is not a part of this, but makes you wonder why. But people, if you guys want Netflix to pick up the Snyderverse or get excited, it's important that these movies get streamed. I'm telling you that right now. If they don't get a big reception on these, there's no chance that we will ever get this through Netflix, although Comcast will probably pick up Warner Brothers next year, which will change everything anyway, and I think most of this would be picked up by Universal. But we'll see what happens. Big things are coming. So I had heard a while ago that, Netflix was going to be picking up the DCEU movies, and I didn't know when or what the parameters were going to be on that. But we do know that Warner Brothers is hurting for money, and by licensing these out for Netflix to use, then they are getting some revenue from that. And Netflix has a lot to gain also by viewership. Their install base or their app base, their viewers, their subscriber base can actually bring in a lot of views for this and bring in some money for Netflix as well. So it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win for Warner Brothers. It's a win for us. It's a win for everything. So it's a good thing that this is happening. Now, as far as the supposed sale of Warner Brothers, I think the fact that they're pushing everything back a year possibly, and we're still waiting to get confirmation on it, that tells you that there's probably a sale coming sooner rather than later, and that this is they're just getting prepped for that, and it means that stuff may never get made. It may never get released. If someone else takes over, we could have a situation like we did with Batgirl where they canceled stuff that was nearly done and decided to go in a completely different direction. So there is a possibility that could happen with Comcast as well. And I do want to point out that the most successful movies for DC, the ones that brought in more people into theaters and grossed more money at theaters, were all of the darker films. It for sure. And in fact, right now, the biggest movies over the last couple of years were the Batman and the Joker. Yet they want to continue to make goofy, silly stuff and not take these characters seriously. We'll see what James Gunn actually has planned here in the future shortly. But I'm guessing if they get sold, none of that stuff's actually going to happen anyway, and it will get canceled. And I kind of hope that happens. I don't want to see this go through. To begin with, I would like to see James Gunn leave the company, other people come in charge, and take these characters seriously and give the audience the darker films that they're looking for, the more fruitful films, the deeper films. This MCU-style stuff like Blue Beetle and Shazam 2 doesn't work for these characters, and it would be nice to see someone who cares take over. All right, there's my DC update for the day. I do appreciate the support. We will see you on the next video.